Power 93.7 WBLK. I'm Yasmin Young inside the 2 to 6 takeover. I am joined by a special guest, Amy Brombos, who is a supervisory partnership specialist with the U.S. Census Bureau. And we're talking about the 2020 census and why it is so important that you and your family participate. Welcome, Amy.
Thank you so much for having me.
I appreciate you joining us. Now, let's talk about it. Why is it so important for people to take the census, and how do the results impact Buffalo?
Well, I'll tell you what, the primary goal here of the census is to make sure we're getting a complete and accurate count of every single person living in the United States. So for us locally, we need a complete and accurate count of every person living in the city of Buffalo and Erie County. And this is extremely important for a couple of reasons. One, we do the census once every 10 years, which means we have one chance every 10 years to get it right. And so the results of the census, we have to live with them for the next 10 years until 2030. Now, what is it that we're living with? The number of people that we count within our city and within our county determine a bunch of things. Primarily, how we're going to distribute hundreds of billions of dollars of federal funds every year. So we're talking about money that goes directly towards Medicaid, Medicare, public health initiatives, which of course right now we all know are so vitally important for our community, childcare, funding for schools, how we district our schools, senior care, our infrastructure. So our roads, we know, need repair. Our bridges, we know, need repair. We're going to repair those in the areas where we know the majority of people live. So if you don't complete the census in your neighborhood, we don't know you're there. Other things like public transportation. How do we know how many people need that transportation and in what neighborhood? It's census counts that help us determine that. WIC programs and unemployment benefits, as well as training classes and things like that for people that need those services. So those are the kinds of things which, on a normal day, not everybody may need to use those resources and may think it doesn't affect them. In the current state of our economy and what's happening in our community and in our world, in our county, and really in our city, the majority of the people that are our neighbors, that are a part of our community, are using these resources now. So this affects everyone, every family, every household in some way. It's really important we get a complete and accurate count.
And I know that there are multiple ways that people can fill out the census and get that information back. I know I personally have received a postcard as well as a letter in the mail. Can you do it online? Can you go to your library and complete it? What happens if you lost or misplaced the paperwork that you received?
We have made this so easy this year. This is the first time that we're doing the decennial census primarily online. And we really hope that people will utilize that, especially now, so that we don't have to have too many interactions face-to-face or in community spaces. So anyone can visit the census website. It's 2020census.gov, and they can complete the census right there online. It's going to take about 10 minutes to complete the census. It's very simple, very straightforward. If you don't have internet access, you don't have a computer, you can complete it using your smartphone, going to that exact same website. You can also complete it over the phone. So the phone number for the census is 844-330-2020, and that's to get somebody who speaks English. Now, we also offer the aid on the phone as well as online in 12 non-English languages. And there's a different phone number for all of those non-English languages, which we can certainly provide, or you can find it online.
Awesome.
Paper forms were mailed to every household already. And if somebody lost their paper form, well, they have other options. Of course, they can call on the phone. They can go online. You can go to the library and complete the census. There are kiosks in every one of our public libraries that are reserved for people to complete the census. And every librarian has been very well trained on how to assist you to do that. Or if you want to wait, an enumerator will eventually come to your door and assist you to complete your census at that time.
If there are multiple people living in one house, do you count them all, even babies?
Absolutely. We need to know every single person living in your home. So one of our hardest to count communities are actually children under 5, which is unusual, I think, because part of the benefit of completing the census is to make sure that we're getting funding for schools and WIC and childcare and early childhood education. So if we don't know you have children under 5 in your home, in your neighborhood, we don't know that that's where we need to put a new preschool or that's where we need to provide more resources for kids. So we really need you to make sure that you're counting your children, your babies, newborns. Make sure everyone in your house is counted.
And please give the website and the telephone number again.
The website is 2020census.gov, and the phone number is 844-330-2020.
Amy, thank you. I appreciate you sharing this information with us, and make sure that you fill out your census, 2020census.gov.
Thank you. It's my pleasure and honor to be here.